Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be doing a scored review of the game CrossfireX. Now, this game was developed by Remedy Entertainment and published by Smilegate Studios. This game is a first-person shooter in the vein of like Call of Duty games where you basically just run and gun. It does have a couple unique features, but I'll get into that later. Now, while I judge a video game or DLC based on 5 categories, and starting with the first one is graphics. I'll be going over these. This game has 2 campaigns, so I'll be doing them together, but commenting on them individually. So graphically speaking, the graphics for Operation Catalyst are kind of boring and bland, and really have a lot of color, and the weapons don't really have much inspiration, nor do the characters' designs or how they move. But as far as the Operation Spectre goes, that one they did a lot better. There was definitely better venues and better looking things you deal with in the game. Graphically speaking, the weapons look better and they sound better, which is weird because the weapons you're using are actually from the company that you're working for in Operation Catalyst. So graphically wise, this game's kind of on the meh side. Now, as you can see here, the CG cinematic looks great, but the actual characters themselves, which you'll see when I start the actual mission, look very boring. Now for story, oh boy, Operation Catalyst, regret to say, is a snore fest. It is literally as generic as you can get of a drop behind enemy lines military shooter where you gotta save your friends before you leave and find your objective and get out. Now, Catalyst, on the other hand, it takes place after the first one, and you're seeing the other side, but you can't tell who the quote-unquote good guy is between the two groups. So the story is more interesting in Spectre because the person you're playing as isn't straight up military. And as far as the story goes in that one, the story is good all the way up until the ending, and at that point, you left in a cliffhanger. And at the time of the recording of this video, they're going to be shutting the servers down in approximately 3 months. So March, April, May of 2023, as of the recording of this video. So there will be no additional story to solve the ongoing cliffhanger for an ending. Now for gameplay and mechanics, if you've played any of the somewhat newer Call of Duties, you've pretty much played everything this game has to offer in Operation Catalyst, minus, and I haven't played all the Call of Duties or Battlefield or first-person shooters, but this one has a slow motion combat breaker, I believe is what it's called. It's neat in practice, but you can literally beat the whole game without ever using it. And you'll have no problems beating the game without using explosives, leaning out of cover, like pretty much any of the normal things you would be required to use in a first-person shooter aren't necessary. Recommended difficulty is very, very generous, and with the exception of some environmental situations that can instantly kill you, it's very generic. Now for the Spectre, the there was not really much of a change, but with the weapons and some of the guns, there's a bigger variety in that campaign. So, um, you once you get like the undermounted grenade launchers and the like undermounted shotguns, and I believe there's even a grenade launcher, and none of that stuff's actually in the Operation Catalyst. So that one just had a lot more going for it than Catalyst did. Now for one one thing I did notice is that initially when you started up, now it's probably not an issue for people who are hardcore first-person shooter fans, but I had to turn down my aim down lights a lot when I first started the game because they were way too high and way too sensitive. But it's hard to pay attention and shoot at the same time and talk. Okay, but as far as that goes, that's really my only gripe is the controls itself moving around isn't that bad, but the aiming can be horrible. Now, for music and sound effects, I'm going to tell you right off, there was a recurring glitch I got. If you want to see it, just watch my walkthrough that I did for the game, and you'll hear the audio issue I had where you just hear a machine gun fire, 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 never ending, and you couldn't hear anything else because of that until it stopped. If it even stopped, usually it required you hitting a cutscene for it to stop. Now, as for like gun sound effects and explosions and stuff, they're fair, but nothing impressive. But the music is unfortunately even worse. So it's just all around the music and sound effects are mediocre at best for both campaigns. I mean, the gun sound effects, like I said, are good, but everything else is kind of meh. Now for the last category, which is achievements, the campaign has no achievements whatsoever. Not a one. All the achievements are tied to the multiplayer. So if you didn't get this game before they listed it, you're not going to get the achievements out of the game. So if you were playing it on Game Pass, I believe they locked you out of that because they took it off of Game Pass and the marketplace. So all in all, I normally rate a game 5 out of 10 for average instead of the industry standard of 7 or 8. And with the mediocre graphics, the the mediocre for the most part story, slightly better on the Operation Spectre storyline, the um, average at best game mechanics and controls, and the mediocre at best music and sound effects, tagged along with no achievements. I really hate to say it, but I give this game a 3 out of 10. If you're not like a die-hard first-person shooter fan and absolutely desperate need of playing a first-person shooter because you played everything else, completely avoid this game. Not worth it. So, 3 out of 10. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.